Oh, we are? Okay. Can I get the names of each of you, gentlemen?
Oh, my name's Sleepy.
I'm T. Rogers, Executive Vice President, National Spokesperson for the American Program.
I'm Batman. Batman.
Okay, number one. What was it? We'll start from left to right. What was it that led to the bonding, the truce, the peace, whatever you want to call it?
Well, what led to it?
What happened was, check this out. Our program has been in effect for 3.5 years. And our program deals with certain components. One of the components that we deal with is peace. Jim's house is a half an hour ride from any neighborhood, okay? Coming up that hill, man, you listen to the right music, you calm down, this is neutral ground, nobody's turf is up here, you know what I'm saying? So when you come up here, you got a different mindset. That's one of the reasons. We worked on that. We had 28 different gang sets that is affiliated with the program. And then we said, well, now we've done it this far, what can we do? One of the brothers from our program said, well, look, we got 4 of the major housing projects in Watts, and we got them together, 4 of the most notorious housing projects in Watts together. That would be a hell of a start. That was his assignment that he took on. That was his project. This was long before the uprising or the rebellion or even the riot.
What I'm asking is, apparently there's a pretty widespread general peace going on. What caused that?
Here we go again. We'll start at the beginning. One of the things, see, there's no rehabilitation in incarceration. And one of the things that we learned by being locked up is that we got to stick together. When a race war or a race riot goes down inside those correctional institutions, that's a laugh. That everything that is not black goes against black. So the brothers have learned to stick together. That is a temporary truce, a temporary peace between those warring gangs. That was one of the things that happened out in the streets, because it happened in the pen, it can happen in the streets. Now, long before the King incident, Latasha Harlins, see, you have to deal with a 2-tier system of haves and have-nots. When we can't stand up, just stand up. When we stand up, we get questioned. What are we doing? What are you standing up for? That's a doggone shame in America.
Ask Batman here. What are the difficulties going to be making this thing last? He called it a temporary peace. Is it temporary? Do you think it's going to be...
No, you misunderstood what I said. I said inside the jailhouse, it's a temporary peace.
Okay, well, let's talk about the...
Now, out on the streets, it will last as long as those brothers... Now, let me do this, man. First and foremost, we look at it differently. It is not a truce or a peace treaty. It is a bonding of black men who have stood up and came together. And when they came together, peace has happened to be one of the things on the agenda. See, we have been conditioned and trained to dislike another brother. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the color that he wears or where he lives. 20-some-odd years of conditioning has taught us that. If you ask some of them young brothers that's very active in gangbanging, you ask them, why don't you like a Crip? Or why don't you like a Blood? His answer will be this. Oh, he sounds like Scooby-Doo. So when you start to ask some of the O.G.s what happened back in the days, they know the answers. Now, I'll give you this also. When the pleas went out from what was supposed to have been the black leaders in the community, i.e. the churches, the politicians, and all of those people, nobody stopped and listened to them. They are not our leaders. The leadership comes from the grassroots and the O.G.s. So when the O.G.s say, hey, look, this has got to stop, then the younger homeboys respect the O.G.s and they say, okay.
Let me ask you, how difficult is it going to be to make this thing last?
It ain't gonna be difficult.
Why?
Because the brothers are tired, man. We're tired of going through, can't go where we want to go. We're tired of killing each other, period, really.
Period. Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
You know.
So it's not going to be difficult? Is that what you're saying?
It's not going to be difficult, man. Because everybody wants the same thing.
Now understand this on a realistic level. Good cops, bad cops. Good gang members, bad gang members. Good ex-gang members, bad ex-gang members. So it's good and bad in everything. So that's on a realistic level.
You think it's going to last?
Yeah, I know it's gonna last
What tells you that?
because we be getting out there getting with them.
And what are you hearing when you get out there to promote this thing?
What do I hear? They want peace, they want love from other gangs.
Why do they want peace and love now as opposed to 6 months ago, 2 years ago? Why now?
Why? Well, the reason why, because 6 months ago, it was like everybody was tripping on this color thing, the red rag, the blue rag. But now, it ain't about colors no more. It's about brothers coming back together as one and eliminating the colors. We don't need colors no more.
You know, what I'm trying to say, what is it?
Let me piggyback on that, man. Let me do this. And see, I'll be very honest with you, all right? That's Ray, that's right.
How you doing?
Yeah. Now, two things. When we inside them penitentiaries and we having them gang meetings and we out there and we ask them brothers, do you want to be successful? They say yes. Is there anybody out here that don't want to be loved? Raise your hand. No hand goes up. Everybody wants to be loved. Those are two common denominators that we can all center in on. Your question, here's your answer. We've always wanted peace. He doesn't want to go to jail. He doesn't want to die. I don't want to be humiliated in front of my baby or my lady. But through the uprising, through the rebellion, we've got a chance to say, hey, look, we came together under this cause. We can make this thing work. It was an emergency. It was an urgency that it was an emotion that ran wild. Now that we've calmed down and we're more logical thinking, we can make this work. It can happen.
Can I talk to you? Okay. As I'm sure you've heard, the police are saying, there's no way this thing's going to make it. No way it's going to last. It's going to go to pieces days, weeks, whatever. What do you think?
Shit, I think it's going to last. You know, our brothers tired of killing and dying and having to starve and hunger for their kids, you know. And we feel we got a program right here that can help us get out of it. It's a positive program, you know, we're doing successful. And I believe in it. You know, I believe in what's going on out there with our brothers. You know, we tired.
What made you want to get out of it?
Oh, I've been wanting to get out of it for about 3 years, 4 years. I got family. I got 3 kids. You know, I'm 24. I'm a young man with kids. It's hard to get a job. You know, things is coming down. I've been locked out. I've been shot. I done been through the worst. You know, well, I'm tired. I'm ready for the better now. You know, I'm tired of the worst. And I got a wife, you know, and kids. So, you know, she helped me get over this borderline.
Okay, you got a wife and a kid, and you're 24. What about the guys who are 15, 16? Aren't as old as you, don't have the same commitment to a family? What's going to happen?
Well,
why are they going to go along with it?
Well, somewhat that's kind of what I'm here for. I'm like a big brother, you know. See, I have little brothers, little sisters, you know, and I go out and try to, you know, bring positive things to the neighborhood, help clean up some of this area. Because at one time I was one of the negative, bad, messing up, writing on the walls, you know, carrying guns, and you know, now I done changed my life, and I want this for my people. You know, they see I'm doing positive, I'm changing from the, you know, from the worst to the better. So, you know, they want that. They say I'm doing good, you know, so that's what they want to have.
What's going to be the hardest part of making it stay, making it stick?
Let me answer that.
One question.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, what's
There's a component here that's missing. It's funny because when you do interviews, you get it all from the police side, or you get it all from the opposition side. We've sat down and we met with that's High T, that's Ron.
How you doing?
We met with the police. We've had 2 meetings with the police, with Crash, Southborough, Valley View. We've met with Newton Street. And the sentiments of the police, and I'll be very honest with you, is that they're scared. Now, desperate people do desperate things. We're scared on this side of the table because we've been victimized severely. And now they're scared on the other side of the table because within people, there's power. See, now that power can be negative power or positive power. When I sat down and I talked with the police, you know what I found out? That they cut, they bleed, they cry, they die, they laugh, they love, just like we do. They have dreams and admirations just like we have, and that they're discriminated against in the own LAPD. That the black officers, when the uprising jumped off, they were pulled off the streets because the white officers didn't know what they were going to do. And there's not a lot of advancement for black officers inside the police department. And when they walk around in their civilian clothes, they they get stopped just like we do. And when they're not in black and white cars, they get pulled over just like we do. It ain't got nothing to do with a cap, a jerry curl, or any of that. If your skin is darker than blue, they want to know who you are.
What's going to be the greatest benefit to the community where the gangs existed?
The greatest benefit? First and foremost, there's a new leadership. We are the new leadership. We understand politics. There's those of us that are 18 years old and older. We will launch a massive vote campaign. There will be no more political pimping. There will be no more preachers that can pimp off in the neighborhood. There was a time when the church and the reverend, the preacher was the leader of the black community because everybody was in church. A lot of these brothers don't go to church. See, so there's a whole new change in here. When I sit down and I talk to my 3-year-old daughter, I say, who's your favorite hero? You know what she says? She says, you are. So Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and any other of those people who don't live in our communities are not our role models. The politicians and preachers are not our leaders. And it's funny, because when a black man stands up, he has to get questioned. We're not doing anything but just standing up. The bottom line, the one word, is respect. We'll respect the police. We want respect back. We'll respect some politicians. We want respect back. And those that don't respect us, we will vote them out. Outside of that, there will be a collective coming among us. But we don't want them to give us, and whoever the them or they are, we don't want them to give us anything. A fair day's wage for a fair day's work. We are a very competent and employable and capable workforce. That's what our teaching and training from the American program does. If you rebuild LA, who rebuilds the mind? We do. You've got reformed and changed ex-gang members. See, you know it's a crime in Los Angeles to be part of a gang, so we're ex-gang members. See, that's just for the record. So these are the things that's going to come about, and we will be the ones up from the flames and the ashes to take our rightful place. I'll give you one last thing, and then I'll be quiet. Some of us consider we refer to each other as LOC. L-O-C. Some of us refer to ourselves as dog, D-O-G. Now, if you got a B-dog, and you reverse that, dog spelled backwards is what?
God.
With a small G. If the term is OG for original gangster, I say no. It's original God. And when original God with a small G takes his rightful place, oh, we can move mountains.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thanks.
And where was you from?
You're talking to me or point here? Me?
You, Rob.
Where was I from? I've been living in New York for the last 15 years.
So was you a black Spain, a Latin king? Where you from?
From the Upper West Side.
The Upper West Side. That's nice. Where you from, man?
I'm from here, LA, originally.
What bar are you from?
I was in Manhattan.
Money making Manhattan, motherfucker. Tell the truth. Shit, we all come from somewhere.
Wait a second. We can't use this on here, man. We can't use
What university you went to?
We can't use this in the picture here.
He said just talk. We're just talking.
I got to talk so we can set this thing up. Anyway, 3.5 years ago, you've been affiliated with the American organization. You said, hang on before you answer the question, you're now the spokesperson, vice president, you said, in charge of the program?
National spokesperson and executive vice president.
Okay. About how many different people are in the program right now?
That's hard to say. I can calculate this for you. We deal with 28 different gang sets.
What would you guess, approximately?
Not my job.
Well, let's just say in the last month, how many different people have come through approximately? Okay, we'll leave that one. Well, you don't have to answer that one. We okay? Okay. How long you been with the program?
Oh, about a year, 2 or 3 months.
How did you connect with it?
It happened after I got a couple of brothers that used to be running with the Muslims. And when Faircon came to the sports arena, they had hooked up with Jim. Had a conversation with Jim, and they became part of this group. And they started spreading the word. And all people such. You got the key to Dawood, one of them was the head of education.
Somebody say, oh yeah! I'm going back to the underground. Dangerous, the sound so wicked, it's like a little rock, kick a dope bullet, the fifth is a weapon, and rap was correct. I got stones on the front.
As far as working with gangs, this is the absolute biggest deal that I've ever come in contact with.
Americans scared of the big brother, little brother syndrome. They've been...
Payne, P-A-Y-N-E. Okay. I'm from the South.
Well, they was like, well, hey, we got to do this. No longer should we shed our own blood on these streets because it's endless and senseless murders. It doesn't make no sense.
Our main priority was to stop the killing, because that was the most harmful thing that came out of gangs.
The individual gang...
Yes. I gotta wait 2 more weeks.
Come on, try to get me. If you know somebody
Showing the unity, we have everybody up here, 5 Bloods and 5 Crips that will go out of Los Angeles, and we will take you from city to city, to state, and spread the word that we're going to love each other, and we're going to spread the good news that it's time for unity. We're going to pay for your trip. We're going to pay you for the job, and we're going to work with you and set up the meetings. I got 2 Bloods already came up. Do I have 2 Crips that'll come up and take the job? There's 2 here?
Hey, stop this brother right here. Stop this brother. Stop this brother behind. Stop the brother behind. Yeah. Hey, I'll take you from
Put the switch up.
You got a lawsuit coming.
Come on, let's go. Meet us, gotta go. You got 2 more minutes, let's go. No, if you want to say something, no, I gotta cut off. Can't, listen. I just find out a question, that's my microphone. All right, listen up. I just find out a question.
I got the mic right here.
Just keep rolling.
This is done. Cameras are out of here. Cameras are out of here.
We don't make a statement, we finish, and we'll be ready outside here, all right? Not a fight, it's communication. And it's black people wanting to talk among themselves and saying that they want to get something done, they're serious. They didn't want nobody interfering with their progress. They didn't want nobody taking them out of content. They didn't want nobody exploiting them. So they said, please leave. Now I think we all have to respect in board meetings of major companies, we do not have everybody in their board meetings. So that's what's going on there. This is their board meeting. They're united. They're serious about getting something done. And when we walk out of here tonight, we will accomplish some solid goals. So I just want to make you know, understand it. It's not a riot in there. They're talking. Something that we black folks been long to do for a long time. Put down all the blue and red rags and say, let's get busy and do something as black people. That's all I have to say for now.
Why do they want us out of there exactly?
Because they don't trust you. Just that simple.
Can I make it?
Yeah, go ahead.
The media has been falsifying the unity of the Bloods and Crips. And the media, that's the reason why they don't want you guys in there, because of the distrust. Matter of fact, you guys labeled me as a gang member on television a few nights ago when I was speaking out. You labelized me as a gang member. And I clearly said that I was a non-gang member. Not to say that I disassociate myself from my brothers that are Bloods and Crips. The media has been falsifying, and that's what I have to say to you.
It's not a real big turnout as we expected. Why do you think that is?
Maybe the people couldn't find the address. Maybe they...
The police presence?
You got to understand that the police poses a threat to the black community, and that could be one of the factors. They pose a threat. A lot of people. My name is Hanif.
Hanif?
Hanif. CHANIF.
We want print television.
Another thing you turn on.
You can't show it on the TV, we don't need to know.
Have a good day.
All right, you guys.
Jesus Christ. You can't show Jesus on TV, you don't need the station.
Matter of fact, label me as a gangster.
The FBI and whatever are checking out stuff on TV and identifying people who say I'm a gang member or erroneously being identified as gang members. Is that going on?
That could be a factor. Could, but anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Okay.
Y'all don't put it in the way it's supposed to be when y'all hear it in there about the people. So what they were saying is you're gonna write something right the way that you hear it in here instead of changing everything around.
But we couldn't hear it in there, so can you tell me what happened? Tell me what.
Well, they was talking about everybody getting together and unite and stop the violence and stop all the killing and killing kids and all that, because if you get together and unite together and stop all this killing, everything will be fine. Everybody can go anywhere, anybody can go enjoy going to a club or a party, anything like that. So that's what they was talking about mostly, but stopping all the killing and the violence.
Was anything decided? Did anything come
And they was
together?
talking about to get 5 Bloods and 5 Crips to get together and go to different states to state and start peace rallies and everything to talk to different people about what's going on in LA and the killings and everything like that.
Is it gonna happen?
Yes, they put the people together. So they was passing out cards and passing out the T-shirts and this on there. So this here.
Why do you think the crowd was so small? Why do you think the crowd was so small, the turnout?
Well, a lot of people didn't want to come up here because, they thought something was going to occur or something was going to happen in there. Because most people went down with it because they didn't really know if they was going to really, get together and, and stop all this. Most people, and tell the truth about it.
Y'all were going to remix it.
Yeah, because see, when you write stuff down, like I said, that goes on inside of there, and the media, as they say, people don't want the media in there because when you write it down, it always goes back to the studio where y'all work at, and y'all change everything around. So they want you to write the way you hear it from there. Then we'll feel better.
Look at that shit.
Because all of us will feel better like that if you write it what you see in there. That's why they sent all of
Hey, check out.
That's why they sent all of y'all outside.
Hey, check out.
That's why.
Keep the peace. Look at SWAT on the roof. Treating us like animals. Look at them. Look at them.
In other words, if y'all don't speak like, the way it's supposed to be, everybody was came and
That's very unnecessary.
Right for the
squad on the roof and shit. We get fucked up. You know what I'm
Don't try to fool us.
You speaking for Inglewood, like?
I'm not. Everybody. This is what this shirt is about. Read this shirt. This is what this shirt is. You ain't there to view it for yourself, then you can, Or if you didn't do it yourself. Or if you didn't do it yourself.
Well, what do you think?
They gonna put it on us.
Make sure that young people have an opportunity.
So where do you guys go from here? What's the next move? We gonna have a party. So where do you guys go as far as the work goes?
What?
As far as the work goes.
Well, we got to start with the kids, because we didn't put down the groundwork, and the kids, like I said, with the influence, we hope it's a positive influence, and that the kids take on from the positive influence, and we teach them not to make the same mistakes that we've made. Because like they got a TV show 30-something, we call ours 20-something. If you make it to 30, you're in good hands. Yeah, you're good. I want to ask a question. You ever been at a Klan rally?
No, but I've done a lot of work.
If blacks unite, what
it happen, you know, because the reason that we haven't been able to accomplish anything in you know, as far as legislative or government, you know, going about it peacefully is because everyone's going a different direction. Once you get people to unite and become as a whole, you know, it's a stronger bond. So I just feel that the government is afraid of what could happen if they unite, and they won't let it happen.
Were you inside?
Yes, I was.
What went on? Was anything decided?
I mean, well, the only thing that was decided is that we're going to stick with this and we're going to try to make it work. You know, red, blue, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, gray, purple, anything, any color. You know, the only color that matters right now is black. This color.
So you're part of a gang?
I used to be from Queen Street, you know, which is Bloods.
What's it like? You were in there, so you're in there with people. Did you know people from rival gangs? Or
yes, there are several people that I know in there. I also have family members that I was a Blood, but they're Crips, you know. So I mean, it's not really a matter of whether they're Crips or Bloods. Now the only thing I'm concerned about is making everything work and making you know, black an issue.
How old are you?
I am 23 years old.
How long were you in the gang?
I was in the gang from 1984 to 1989.
Why'd you get out?
I got out because now I have 2 kids, you know, and I can't be worrying about, I'm worried about them, let alone me, you know, so I don't really want to be going out, you know, worried about someone shooting me in my back because I'm wearing blue or I'm wearing red in a certain area, and then my kids are left alone without a father.
What made you and other people who have been attending these meetings, what made you come to the realization that you should do this?
Well, it was several things, you know, especially living in Los Angeles. It was several things over the past couple of months. You know, the Letitia Harmon case, the Rodney King case. You know, to me, especially with the Rodney King case, that was the biggest issue because if you see that kind of abuse on tape, what more do you need to convict? You know, whether they're officers or anything. You know, but you know, you can see that there's no justice, and the only way we're going to get something done, because the system's not going to change, we have to change as a people and come together. Then maybe we can get something done in the system.
How else are you going to, you lost your hat. Someone's getting it. How else are you going to change besides trying to stop killing each other?
Well, right now I've just enrolled in junior college, you know, so I'm trying to better myself, you know. Once we get together and come to the realization that we're going to unite, then we need to make up a base plan to better ourselves, you know, because we're always talking about people giving us a break. We need to give ourselves a break and take the initiative to go out and more or less better ourselves.
All right, you were in a gang for, what, 5 years?
5 years.
You know the relationships and how long these bitter relationships have existed between the different gangs.
Yes.
What kind of hope do you have that this truce is going to last forever, or last more than a few weeks?
Well, of course, I'm not going to say anything negative. You know, my thoughts on it is that I hope it lasts, you know, forever, eternity. That's the biggest time span I can think of. Eternity.
What do you think? You know what the rivalries are like with the gangs. When you guys are older and you've got children, what about the kids who are like 16 and 17? Do they have that same? They don't have the experience that you have. Do you think they're going to buy into it?
Well, personally, I think this truce is going to start at home. I think a lot of parents are afraid of their children. I'm not from Los Angeles. I'm from the South, and they believe in strict discipline down there. I have friends here who gangbang, and when they go home, they take off their red shoestrings, you know, pull their pants up, and they go in the house like nothing's wrong, you know, and perpetrate for their mother, more or less act like nothing, like they're doing anything, you know. But if a lot more parents would start, you know, putting the whip, more or less, not literally, to their children, things would straighten up a lot more,
So you think it's going to be more widespread than just this truce about stopping killing?
I think if we can make it work in Los Angeles, it can work anywhere. Basically the Crips and Bloods that have come up in Seattle and stuff like that have migrated from Los Angeles. So if it can work here, it can work anywhere.
All right, what's your name?
Marcus Anderson.
Thanks very much. Next one.
All right, thank
We'd like to welcome the press. We're here in Inglewood to introduce brothers from the Inglewood gangs, from the Bloods and the Crips. This is a day in which they declared a truce among each other, and it's a day in which they're going to work together to help our community to become a truly better community and to be a community empowered by black men and black women who live in this community. So they want to be a positive part of the community, not one that is shut out. And this is an attempt that they have made to come to what is called respectable leadership. They want to be considered as people who are trying also to make this a better society. So I'm going to introduce a few speakers. They have some topics to speak on. I'll also have a few words at the end of it, and then we'll field some questions. So some of the speakers will be from the Bloods and the Crips of Inglewood. I'd like to first call up Said, Baby Nerve.
I'd just like to say some things. This is how everybody wanted us to be a long time ago, for the Crips and the Bloods to stop killing each other, but the police didn't want it, the government really didn't want it. If they can stop a whole war, if they can go over there and kick Saddam out of Kuwait, how they can't stop us? You know what I'm saying? How they can't just bring up an education system to where we can learn to love each other, learn to work with each other, learn to build up our community with each other. How can they just say that they can't stop us? How can they say they can't stop drugs from coming into our community? How they can't stop that? They can go, just like I said, they can go kick Saddam out of Kuwait, but they can't stop drugs from coming to our community. How we go vote for these people, George Bush, Clinton, and all of them? It's a big old cover-up because they the biggest drug dealers that we got here to this day, and they ain't doing nothing but giving it to our black people so we can kill ourselves, so we can just go around and try and kill for this drug we got. So this is one thing I want y'all to understand. This is one thing y'all got to understand, that we are black people, all of us. We all come from one, you know what I'm saying? Because it all started with us. It all started with us. And another thing that I want to say, these churches and stuff around here, y'all need to listen up to hear what we got to say. Y'all need to come together with us, because you can't separate us, because if you separate us, that means that we're that much weaker. You got to come together and be stronger with us, so we can therefore build and rise as a black community, as a black nation. Peace, God.
What's your name? He's from Water Great Pit. CED. We want to introduce Singh, who is Dingbat. He's from the Center Park Club. Blood. Junebug, is he here? Junebug? Okay. Spud from Center Park Blood.
I basically just want to say that speaking for me and my homies over here, the ones that's here that's ready to represent this, if we don't do it, let's do it, and let's don't bullshit about it. If we're not going to do it, don't even say we're going to do it. There ain't no need to be holding hands and shaking hands like we friends for now. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to do it, do it. If we don't even perpetrate, because everybody know what time it is. The police don't want it as it is. We make them make money. We make money for the police. We do. You know what I'm saying? If we stop this, all them special gang task forces and gang sweeps gonna save the city money and make businesses or whatever for the black community, because we making them money. You know what I'm saying? They gonna want it to keep going. If we do stop it and we do accomplish something today by starting this in Inglewood with all the Bloods and the Crips. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be surprised if the police come to the neighborhood dressed in all black or all red to shoot up a Crip and yell out blood, and come to us and yell out Crip and shoot up blood just to keep it going, because they don't want it to stop, because if it stops, they gonna lose money. Simple and plain. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Blood, and I love my Bloods, I love my homies. You know what I'm saying? These is Crips, they black. You know what I'm saying? It's time to come as one. If we gonna come as one, let's do it. If we not, don't perpetrate. Just don't even try it at all, because if it don't happen now, it ain't gonna never happen.
There you go.
We have Kenny Boy from Crenshaw Mafia gang.
I really just came to say that I will whatever my people choose, and you know, I'm just riding with it. Stay up, black people.
We have Junkie Ruff from Block Crip.
Yeah, I represent Westside Block Crip. I'm not here to perpetrate. This is real out here. This is real. You know, if we all can come together now, we can all come together in the next pass, you know. And as we was riding out there, there's a lot of black brothers out there riding, and Bloods and Crips came together. I feel as though we can come together then, we come together now. Peace. What's your name? Junkie Ruff. Yeah. Are you upset?
We have another brother called Big Bam. He's from 105th Crip.
First of all, I'd like to say good evening. And back in the day, I used to Crip this thing that's going around now. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm asking the Lord to just work with me. I used to be a Crip, and now I'm serving the Lord. I'm a deacon. And what I like to say to everybody that's out here, the first thing you got to do, you talking about coming together, this for the Crips and the Bloods. First thing you got to do, you got to accept the Lord in your life. You know what I'm saying? And then once you accept the Lord in your life, and then He'll do the rest. You know what I'm saying? Because about the Blood and the Crip, this ain't nothing but the devil. He ain't trying to do nothing but destroy us. He go through whites, blacks, whoever. He try to destroy us. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to do right. So like I said, just accept the Lord in your life. And you know, and if everybody gonna come together, come on together. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a nice time and let's just be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you don't want to leave one hell and go to another one. You know what I'm saying? But really down in reality, deep down, it ain't no such thing as no blood and no Crip, because we all is one. And once we accept the Lord in our life, we all is one body in Christ. And I like to say I love y'all and peace. Thank you, bro.
We'd like to call Nutty Boy from CMG.
Yeah, I like that speech you just gave, man. We got to accept God in our life first. First of all, I want to say, you know, we got a lot of brothers, you know, in the pen, too, that's, you know, they up there tripping this, too. So, you know, everybody got to get along with each other, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's got to start right here. You know, we got to give it a try. We're not saying that it's going to work, but we got to give it a try, because we got some hardcore people that's involved in this here. And, you know, some of them ain't go accept it, some go give it a thought, but me, I'm willing to give it a try first, you know, and that's all I want to say.
There you go, brother.
Peace, brother. You know.
We have Gangster Talk from Center Park Blood.
Well, I just want to say, you know, it's been a long time. A lot of brothers don't die out of these colors, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not no, you know what I'm saying, I'm not no person to here to tell everybody what to do, but I feel it's time, you know, to make that change, because if it don't happen now, it ain't gonna never happen, I feel, you know what I'm saying? You know, people don't lost brothers, mothers, sisters, daughters, sons, everything over this, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's time for our people to come together, you know? This has been a long time, that's all I gotta say. Peace. Gangster Talk from Center Port.
What's that?
Gangster Talk from Center Port.
Gangster Talk.
We got Pookie from CMG.
I like to say, you know what I'm saying, I respect you, you know, the Crips, you know what I'm saying, for giving their little speech, you know what I'm saying. That was a positive tip, you know what I'm saying. Just like us gangsters, you know, from Inglewood Bloods, you know what I'm saying, we can get a positive too. You know what I'm saying, I'm happy to see that we all gonna come together, you know what I'm saying. Ain't nobody gonna be killing each other over the punk ass color again. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to be here with them, but you know what I'm saying, fuck it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's a black line, you know what I'm saying? And I guess the push I'm off of, but it's a black line.
We have little E.T. from Center Park Blood. Little E.T.
I'm Lil E.T. I want to say to all the brothers behind me and all this, Bloods, Crips, all this, you brothers need to get your head straight first. You know what I'm talking about? It's been got a bloodshed. The bloodshed today, you know what I'm saying, it's getting bigger and bigger. We don't stop this problem, we'll never stop it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. The people we have in jail, we still got this riots and all this going on. The white folks doing this doing this. We all need to just come together and just, you know what I'm saying, call this thing just a big old, just squash it. You know what I'm talking about? But it's been too much bloodshed to even squash anything. Everybody still got chips on their shoulders. Too much blood spilled. This brother lost his brother to a Crip. This Crip's lost his brother to a Blood. And the thing they big in their mind, too much blood has been shed for us to stop this. But like I want to say now, we need to just stop, brothers. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever. Port gang, yeah.
My name is Kip Lowe from Watergate Crip. We all starting to realize as black people, we're starting to realize that the system has failed us. We're starting to realize what the problem is. Bloods, Crips, gangbanging, all that was created by the system to keep our thoughts clouded. Understand me? To keep our thoughts clouded, to keep confusion going on amongst the black people. The black Korean issue was caused by the system. The system is what put the Koreans in our communities to cause confusion. And we starting to see it as black people, what's going on. I see my homeboys starting to see what's going on and starting to kick up knowledge. That is something good to me. I see my friends as was a leader in gang, being a leader in this cause of us getting all together. That is a plus. And once the rest of us get together and start seeing what's going on, the better we'll be. Because as black people, we need to check ourselves first before we wreck ourselves.
Hey man, can I ask you a question? What do the riots do? I mean, why now?
What the riots did was bring us closer together, because it was the first time ever since I lived in California all my life. And this is the first time that I've seen black people come together as one. Some people might say it's negative, some people might say it's positive. But what is positive and what is negative? All right? Now, we all getting our thoughts together as people checking ourselves, like I said before, and now we're starting to move this energy into something positive. This whole Rodney King thing, we're not rioting because of the Rodney King thing. We've been having frustrations built inside of us that's been ready to explode for over 27 years now. It just took one thing to trigger it. And the Rodney King issue was the thing that triggered it. You understand me? Now, LA started it, then it went on to Washington, then it went on to New York and other places, because they were feeling the same frustrations we were feeling it. All it needed was just one person or one incident to kick it all up. Now we have everybody listen to what we gotta say. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be able to hear now. Now millions of people is going to hear what I got to say and understand the feeling of my young black brothers. I'm only 23 years old, and I see what's going on. So that means if I see what's going on now, that means the rest of my life would be easy selling. Because I don't have my brothers behind me, a brother right here behind me, a brother here behind me, a brother here, and I ain't got to worry about somebody coming to get me. I ain't got to worry about the system messing with my son Joshua. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but gangbang is...
Can you speak to the concern of some people that the truce is being formed to unite against police?
No, it's not. It's not a truce to unite against the police. It's just a truth that we checking ourselves, getting together, so we can be stronger, so we won't let the police come in our communities and shoot us up. That's what's been happening. Police have been shooting us up.
But gangbang is not about...
Yo, excuse me, sir. We got another speaker here. So, thank you. Thank you, brother.
No problem skills.
We won't feel questions. Hold up, brother.
Who are you? I'm Jay Bone, and this is my homie Block Bear.
Yeah, you gotta talk to the mics. We need to get the mic.
I'm Block Bear from 113th Street Block Crip Gang. You know what I'm saying? All I want to say is, everybody talking about, all this peace shit, I think it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But what if I was to walk down Crenshaw, you know what I'm saying, G'd up, and I'm sitting up here, I shake one of these, one of their hands, and they see me another day and they beat my ass, or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? If they want peace, come at it with it now, you know what I'm saying?